What's up, everybody? Welcome back once again to the channel. Glad to see you guys here. Now, what's going on today is we got a laptop from this company. They're called CLEVO. Now, these particular guys, they only OEM things, which means they don't sell things directly underneath their name, but there are a lot of different models out there from this company. Now, the one that we're going to show you today is actually a pretty cool model. There are a couple of things I don't like about it. We'll talk about that later on in the video, but overall, it's a pretty doggone nice laptop. We'll also have links at the end of the video to models that are very similar, but the exact one that we're looking at today, it's not yet on the market. It'll probably be really soon, but it's really a nice laptop. Has 4K gaming, Sound Blaster software on there that creates the EAX effect on the latest software from Windows, because at a certain time when Windows shifted into Vista 7 and 10, they took out some of the code that allowed EAX to be in there, and with the software we have now, it's going to put all that stuff back in there, allowing all kinds of your older games to have EAX totally built into the system, which means when you're listening to your headphones, you're going to get that totally surround gaming thing that you want to get. You know, the experience of footsteps behind you, hearing what's coming at you, all that'll be in the cans. And I think that's pretty cool for gamers. But with that said though, let's jump in real quick. Let's check out the laptop. Let's check out its specs. Let's see the performance. And let's see at the end of the day, if you'd be willing to spend your hard-earned cash to grab one of these bad boys for your travel bag. All right, folks, so let's just check out the laptop. First of all, you guys are going to see it has a 15-inch screen, which features full 4K. That's right. So it's 3840 by 2160, all on a nice laptop screen, and it's at 60 hertz. And believe me, it looks very, very nice because check it out. It also has G-Sync built inside the laptop. So right along with your video card, you get that G-Sync technology, which means that none of your games are going to have any rips, any tearing whatsoever when you game. And if you gamers out there know what that is, you know that's really nice technology. Also, powering up that screen is a 6GB GTX 1060 video card. Also underneath the hood is 16 gigabytes of GDDR4 memory running at 2400 megahertz, an Intel Core i7-7820HK CPU featuring 4 cores, 8 threads, a 2.9 gigahertz base frequency, and an amazing 3.9 gigahertz turbo frequency. I have to say, that's a pretty damn nice boost, right? One thing really nice about this CPU, however, is it only has a TDP of 45 watts, which means when you're out playing your laptop, the bottom may get a little bit warm, but it's not going to get so damn hot that you can't hold it in your hands. Like I said earlier, there were a couple of things that I really didn't like about this particular model, and the 500 gigabyte standard hard drive is one of them. I mean, come on, at least a 1 terabyte drive should be in this, and if not, something like, a small hard drive with a, terabyte SSD with it, but just a standard 500 gigabyte hard drive, I find that to be a caveat for me. I mean, some people, like we do it for our testing, is store all their games in an external hard drive, but honestly, if you want to have something that you can take around with you everywhere and not have a bunch of external baggage, I don't know. Having a 500 gigabyte hard drive to me is kind of an Achilles heel in this particular model. Let me know what you think. As far as connections go, on the right hand side, we first see all the audio connections. Then we see an SD card slot, 2 USB 3.0 ports, the LAN port, and all the way at the top you guys can see the Kensington lock. On something like this, you probably definitely want to keep it locked up if it's out in public. On the left hand side, we see 2 more USB 3.0 ports. Next up, a USB Type-C, 2 display ports for external monitors, an HDMI port for another external monitor, and then the power port for your power connection. Now on the bottom of this particular unit, you guys can see that there are a lot of different slits inside the laptop. That's to help take the heat away from the CPU and the GPU and keep your laptop running cool. And down at the bottom, you guys can also see there are 2 built-in subwoofers supposedly to give big booming sound, but it really wasn't that booming. As we all know, RGB has become the latest thing. It's like the cool thing to have in your computer. And guess what? Yep, this particular model has RGB. It's all in the keyboard keys, which are totally backlit and look really nice in a dark room. And you can see them all very, very clearly. Now, this is something I'm going to tell you guys, which is my idea. I hate keyboards that sit flat like that. So I've gone ahead and submitted my patent to have a keyboard that actually lifts up on the laptop. And so if you don't, laptop. So if you don't know what that means, I'll explain it to you. Hold on. You guys see how the keyboard is totally flat like this, right? That's completely uncomfortable for me, totally. So I've invented a thing to actually make the keyboard pop out and lift up. So that way, when you're typing on the keyboard, it's at a much more ergonomic level. And I think when they start implementing this and putting it into laptops, it's gonna be much more comfortable for people all around the world. Tell me what you think, because I know there's a lot of other people that agree with me, but don't try to steal my idea, because like I said, I've already patented it. Trackpads are something that I also have really never been a big fan of. I'll admit it, when I go on a trip, even if I have a laptop that has a trackpad, I don't care, man. I'm taking a separate mouse when I'm gaming, period. That's just how I am. This particular one does, I will say, work a lot better than most. Usually I hate them so bad that I'm wanting to throw my freaking laptop across the room within a few minutes, but this one is pretty accurate and it works good. Also, something I want to mention that's really important to me, may not to you if you're a total gamer, but to me is a very important feature of a laptop. The text on this thing is amazing. Honestly, my Acer Predator monitor basically is supposed to be the same thing, right? G-Sync technology. I have even a better video card. My text looks like dog shit. I can barely read it. It's blurry, it looks broke up. The text on this laptop is super damn clean. I have to say the text on this is if I wish I had 2 more arms, I'd give it 4 frickin' thumbs up, because that's one of my favorite things about this laptop. The text is unbelievably clear. You can see it no matter where you're at, and to me that's an important feature. And like I said, if you're just a gamer, you might not give a crap, but honestly, if you surf the net and do a lot of stuff, why isn't clear text better than blurry text? And that's something I really like about this laptop. Now, we're gonna jump right now into the scoring and all this stuff. Obviously, we use Windows 10 with the latest upgrades and all that stuff. We use the latest, everything that we can get our hands on, the latest drivers that are available at the time of our testing. And sometimes, believe me, guys, we'll test them. You go, hey man, that's not the latest driver. Well, it's happened, because we'll test something and then 2 days later they'll come up with a new driver. I'm not gonna just keep stopping and retesting forever. The video would never ever come out. But with that said though, let's jump in and let's check out how this thing performs. We omitted the 1440 scores because the resolution on this thing for 1440 was just frickin' whack. It's made for 4K or 1920 and 1080, and that's what we tested it at. So let's rock out to the benchmark song and let's check out the scores. Let's rock. As far as temperatures go, the i7-7820HK had a minimum temperature of 46 Celsius and a maximum of 89 Celsius. And the GTX 1060 got as hot as 75 Celsius on max and at 49 on minimum. So all right, there you have it. The specs, the scores, the temps, all of that good stuff. Now before I bounce out of here, I want to talk to you guys about one more aspect about this laptop that's really cool. Like I said before, the Realtek audio is powering the sound, but on top of that is a layer of creative software, and it's really cool. They have two different things inside of here. They have Creative Alchemy. Now what Alchemy does is it allows you to go ahead and hear all of those EX sounds from older games on your Windows 10, Windows 7, or Vista computer, because something happened when they transitioned and they removed something out of it where those particular games and newer stuff don't give you that full EX experience. But now with Alchemy, you can just click a button and all that EX wonderful stuff inside your headphones will be back. And if you have obviously a 7.1, 5.1 surround sound at your house, it'll do the same thing. But I think most people who are going to have a laptop are probably going to be using headphones for that full surround sound deal. They also have something inside, which we've talked about before in another video, which is their Connect stuff. Now Connect is pretty cool because inside there you can totally customize your audio environment. There's all kinds of things for watching movies, for playing games, for changing your voice, for changing the equalization. I mean, honestly, there are just so many ways to customize your sound environment in that. I think you'll spend a lot of time in there just playing around with stuff and hearing the different things that it has to offer. Because like with the sound morphing thing, like you can be in a game playing and initialize this and it'll make your voice sound like Darth Vader, like Tweety Bird. I mean, you can have a lot of fun screwing around with this type of software when you're in game. So overall, if you guys are audio buffs and you're looking for that little bit of an edge in software, that's going to create a nice, audio environment for you, then this creative stuff is something that I think you'll really like about this particular unit. Now, overall, probably the biggest caveat to this laptop, no matter who they're going to OEM it to, is going to be price. Because what I'm looking for, all of these models, even ones where I've linked to, are all pretty pricey because they all have, awesome features. You guys know NVIDIA charges for the G-Sync thing, so you're going to have to pay for that G-Sync technology, all that DDR4 memory, having the latest, 8th generation CPUs from Intel in there. All these things are the latest and greatest, and you guys all know as technology comes out, when it first comes out, it's frickin' pricey, so they're going to get you for that money. Now, you probably can find other lower end models from these guys that have a little bit less specs, and they'll still probably play games pretty good for a little bit less money. But if you want a laptop that's totally badass, has a lot of features, and is going to play your games even at 4K, hey man, these are pretty cool models. And although it didn't play 4K at 60 frames per second totally, it was around 30 to 40 most of the time still. On a laptop, being able to play 4K like that's still pretty cool. And you can always drop it down to 1080, and you guys can see those frame rates just jump up like a mother. So at the end of the day, if you want an awesome laptop, it's gonna cost you a little bit of money. 500 gigabyte hard drive, not really digging that too much, but you can always put it on an external drive and be up and going wherever you want. It's just up to you. I'm Elric, like usual. Like I said, we'll have some links down below the like button that'll show you some different models for you to choose from, and I hope you guys like this video and the way we presented it. So peace out. We'll see you guys back here on Tech tomorrow for more tech.